No, I'm just kidding.
Hey guys, welcome welcome back to Oh, what's that? We're no longer Let's Chat GPT.
No. As you guys may have noticed by now, we have made a little bit of a rebrand and we are shifting to. You lost your scarf. Chaos. Okay, guys, we're off to a chaotic start. Um, as you guys may have noticed, we have done a little bit of a rebrand. Okay, let's do a quick countdown. Ready? And
Hey guys. Hey everybody tuning in from everywhere. We are really excited to be back with you guys today. You may have noticed that we are no longer Let's Chat GPT, right, Amna?
yes, we have put Let's Chat GPT to rest, and it is an end of an era for us. However, we've decided to pivot and kind of rebrand a little bit because, unfortunately, when we first discovered ChatGPT, we were in love, we were infatuated, we were love bombed, we were pulled in. We thought we had a reliable friend and confidant and personal assistant, and it has since spiraled completely out of control. So we don't want to be attached to it. And honestly, most of the episodes we didn't really use chat that much. So, yeah.
Yeah, we just figured that we are enough without AI. We are two strong, beautiful women who don't need AI in our lives to that capacity. Also, chat is pretty like pro Israel, and you guys know that we are pro Palestine. So you just gotta make moves and make sure that you put your money where your mouth is.
Yes, I 100% agree. I think that this shift is so good for both of us because we're moving into an aesthetic and also just that we like, and also just like making it more just about us. And the idea initially was really attractive and fun, and we did have so much fun with it. But yeah, things have changed so much. This episode, we're going to be talking about making pivots and transformations and changes in your life. Um, Obviously we're constantly changing throughout our life, and you have to change as a person. Sometimes you change your mind, sometimes you just pivot completely and no longer resonate with your old self, and we've both had so much experience with that, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. However, I will say before we do that, I think it would be fun to share like the funniest things that we heard about ChatGPT during the dragging and cancellation of ChatGPT online. Because I know like you were sending me screenshots this morning about the conversation you were having with it, and you were like not having a good time.
I had to bully ChatGPT into denouncing Israel. And it literally was like, I denounce all things that are bad to humans, and I guess Israel is kind of committing some of these things. So
Yeah.
if you're okay with that, let's just continue to have a productive conversation. And I was just like, excuse me, who do you think you're talking to?
And it's kind of crazy because like chat is so programmed to like overly agree with you that it's kind of crazy that that's like the one thing it'll get pushback on. No, you know what I mean? Like it's like if you get in there and you're, because those are the funny things that I've seen. It's like people that are being sent into like mental psychosis because it overly validates like these weird things that they're believing in their mind, and it doesn't have like a, it doesn't give you unbiased, like objective responses. It's very subjective. It's very people pleasy. It's very whatever. And then it's crazy to have a conversation where it pushes back and it's like interesting. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of just like conspiracy. I mean, we can't really say, but regardless, I think that when chat was first coming up, I was really excited. But now I'm just like, I don't even use it anymore. It's inaccurate. It really honestly just sucks at everything. Like when you ask it questions, it's very inaccurate. I hate the personality of it. I hate that it doesn't give you like this nice, unbiased, objective sounding board, and it can't keep track of dates, it can't keep track of numbers, it can't do anything. So this is the massive breakup with chat. We had such a typical little love bomb relationship with chat. We met chat, we fell in love, we thought chat was perfect. I literally would rant to everyone about how perfect chat was. Went through the honeymoon stage, and now we're like, chat is a narcissistic, abusive loser, and I'm leaving.
Remember when one of our episodes it was like, would you rather, and I was like, would you rather wear a shirt that says I love chat GPT, or like would you rather blah blah blah, and you're like, oh, I would do that. Or I think I was like, would you
Yeah.
rather rant every single day about like chat GPT to your coworkers or X, Y, and Z, and you were like, I already do that. And now we're
I
like,
literally did. Like, I'd be like, it's crazy. It's like personal assistant. It can help you with your finances. It can help you with a workout plan. It can help you with a nutrition plan. Like, all this stuff. And now I'm like, I tried to use it for nutrition and it, like, literally just makes up calories. Like, I'm like, how many calories is in this? And it'd be like, 10, girl, you're in your deficit. And I'm like, am I? I feel like I'm like 1,000 over, but okay. Um, but anyways, so yeah, that is anything else? Any other like funny ones that you really
I
saw? I can't.
yeah, I have a few funny ones. So I had I might need to put this up on like the
The
side because
screen.
it's a picture, and I'll try to share it now, but it's I'm on this group called Baddies. Baddies and
Baddies
AI.
in AI.
And so they were like, "Oh, how do I let me like make a professional headshot?" And chat like made her, she was like a black woman, and chat made her an Indian man. And it was actually so funny.
The image generation on ChatGPT is terrible. Like,
It's
it's so bad. It like makes me angry. Yeah. No.
no, it's
Sorry,
terrible.
chat. You're fired.
You're fired. But yeah, I'll find that picture somewhere and we can put it up. I mean, actually it's not my picture, so I might not
Please.
have permission. But I've put my own pictures in there, and it's brought it back to me like looking like all sorts of ways, and I was like, that is not me, chat. But no, chat's been pretty, it's been pretty silly. It did some miscalculations for me when I was trying to figure out like UK taxes and stuff, and I was like, okay, so if this is my salary, like talk to me about, oh, the hourly rate versus if this was my salary, what's the hourly rate? And I had to correct chat, and I was like, isn't it the opposite? And it was like, oh, Maria, you're so right. Thank you for catching that. And I was like, you should have caught it. You're AI. Like, you should have been the
Yeah.
one. So it's just really like silly. And yeah, we're moving on. And that's why we are now at the
Yeah.
same time, because we do everything at the same time together.
Exactly. And we're experiencing this earth and this life together at the same time, and we get to share it. And we just thought the name was so cute, and I'm so excited for our new era. I feel like it is more aligned with both of us and what we want, and like it's going to be just so much more fun to not be tied to an idea that we had. But yeah, so leaving that in the past, we're putting it to rest. We've released it.
Yes, everyone take a deep breath. So I guess now we're gonna, yeah, I mean, yeah, pivots, direction. So I have a question for you, Omna. So can you tell me about a time where, I know like you probably had like small pivots here and there, but can you, sorry guys,
Yeah.
we this is our second recording, and Omna actually asked me this question, so I'm turning the tables. Can you tell me about a time where like you completely did a 180?
180.
So when did you do a 180? What did that look like for you? Was there like a buildup of knowing that you wanted to pivot and change, or was it more like spontaneous? Like, talk to me about that.
Of course. I feel that there's been like different types of pivots and transformations throughout. So sometimes I feel like in life you don't have a choice, and it's like life hurls it at you, like you lose your job or you go through a breakup or you move to a new city or whatever, and it's like you have no choice but to like now kind of become this new version of yourself, versus like what you said where you have moments where you like are choosing that you're in the same place, like nothing's changing, but you're like, outgrowing this space or whatever. I feel like that's definitely happened to me, and honestly, I love it every single time. Like there's always like growing pains. You definitely lose people in your life, which honestly, it always feels good for me to like. I'm just Kidding. But no, it feels good to shed away like layers of yourself that you, because it's painful when you're in that space where you feel like you're outgrowing the things around you, but you're trying to stay there because it feels comfortable and familiar, and you're like
Yeah.
staying, but deep inside you like want to move forward. So for me, whenever I see things shifting, it can be scary, but I'm also excited because I'm like, I'm stepping into what I feel I'm like craving. So I definitely had that like when I graduated college. I've definitely had that in the past probably 5 years of just shifting into like early 20s to late 20s and like stop resonating with like party life and stop prioritizing the same things you did before and just like transitioning into like what do I need to be like a fulfilled whole human in the future, in the foreseeable future for the next 30, 40 years if we're lucky, whatever. But yeah, what about you? Do you have like any standout moments? I know I didn't share anything personal. I'm really bad.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm so I'm so good at making it super vague, so no one everyone's like, tell us about a specific story, and I'm like, anyways, everybody experiences this. But yeah, what about you? Do you feel like you've had big moments, or has it just been like little small moments, or do you want to
I
share anything personal with the chat?
I feel like my oh my gosh, our fan base should be the timers.
Oh, cute. Oh, cute. The timers, the chatty timers,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ticky,
The
ticky.
TikToks. TikTok time is running out. Um sorry. Okay, sorry.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that I've had some pretty like big shifts, I would say, and I feel as though they might seem spontaneous to the common eye. But like for
Mm.
people who either know me or in my life, they're kind of like, "Oh, this makes sense." I feel like even getting my master's in Australia was like a really huge shift because one day I think I was in Chicago and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to apply for my master's like abroad." And then the next thing you know, like I'm getting in and in September, I think I sent my application in June, which is also like low key kind of late. Like normally it's like October through like February or something, and then you get told in June. So I had also missed like scholarship opportunities because I applied so late. But yeah, I applied in June, and then I think I got accepted in like July. Yeah, maybe July, maybe even early August, because I remember wondering if my student visa was going to come back before school started. So for me, that was like a spontaneous shift, but it was also such a big shift to just be like, okay, yep, moving to London, like let's do this. So I feel like that's definitely been like,
Oh, you said Australia, and it confused me so much. You were like, did you
oh,
do that on purpose
did I say
or on
Australia?
accident?
I
You were like, I applied to do my master's in Australia, and you just said, and I was like, you moved to Australia? Do your master's? That's
Oh my
crazy.
god. Okay, I've been Australia.
Freudian slip.
Freudian slip because I've been Australia maxing for the past like week now. So I think that's why.
Oh,
But
Australia, Max.
I mean, to be fair, I did apply for my master's in Australia as well, and I got in. But I was by the time I got in, basically I was already in one semester done with London because they accepted me late because of COVID and everything. So I feel like that was a big change, and yeah, I feel like any move is just kind of a big change because you're also moving without like your friends, without that support, without people that you know, people that maybe you could even connect with. Sometimes you know people, sometimes you don't. So I feel as though like we both have moved around quite a bit. So I think any move is considered like major in my book
Yeah,
with pivoting.
yeah. What about like, do you feel like, for example, like maybe transitioning from like, I'm trying to think of, I don't know your entire timeline by heart, of your life, but but like, do you feel that there were moments where you were in a environment and you felt that like change, but your outside wasn't changing yet? Like you felt that change within yourself where you were like, I'm changing as a person, but I'm outgrowing the things around me faster than my like reality is kind of catching up, or like I'm still in this space and things are changing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like when I finished studying abroad, so 2017, and I had come back, and it's so crazy because they do say like you will go away and you'll come back and everything will be the same. Like you will be a
Mm-hmm.
whole new person. You've had these whole new experiences, but like your mom's still shopping at the same grocery store. like your friends are still going to the same spots in Deep Ellum, like all of this stuff. And
Hmm.
so it's just like I felt that for sure. And then I also felt that I feel like that's also common sometimes in relationships as well, like where you're actually just kind of outgrowing a person. I feel as
Hmm.
though I felt that with my first boyfriend. I was like, oh, he's
Hmm.
amazing, but I feel like I've just grown and I've had all these new experiences and I want to keep experiencing new things. And I think that we're just not on the same page or at the same level anymore. And not to say that like one of us is above the other person level wise. I think we were just in two separate books basically. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I definitely felt that. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I feel that right now, to be honest, where I'm at in my life, where I'm like, oh, I'm in this environment and I feel all these changes and I know that I want something different, whatever. And you feel kind of like you stop resonating, or not even stop resonating, but maybe you're not like, yeah, it's just not a deeper resonance. Like, you're not in a state where you feel completely aligned with everything and you feel completely satisfied, which isn't a bad, or not. I don't like saying satisfied because I don't think that like that you can be satisfied in any moment, but you know what I mean? Like the alignment's not there and you just are like, I want more, I deserve more. I feel that I am attracting something that's coming that's different than this. So right now it's like the waiting, not necessarily waiting phase, but you're kind of just in this phase where you want the change to come, but I also, like, when I was younger, don't feel like I had like so much fear creep up, which I was talking to one of my friends about that the other day. It's like I now, maybe because I'm getting older, or maybe because I'm not making moves as impulsively or as quickly as I have in the past, and I'm like taking more time to think about it. My frontal lobe has developed, and it makes things harder because you start to like analyze and think about things a little bit more. And it, for me, increases the level of fear with making a decision, which I don't like. So, like, I've been feeling that more, but I also will say I feel it's completely normal to feel fear and to not let it stop you from taking the actions that you want to. But I'm also just like an advocate for calculated risk. I think it's stupid to just like make decisions and be super impulsive and kind of childish with the way that you live your life, because there is so much benefit to like planning and executing, but it's like create a plan that is aligned with the highest version of yourself. Don't play it safe when you're creating a plan for yourself. Don't say, well, I'm going to be realistic, or I'm going to, no, create a plan for the highest level of what you see for yourself, but then execute it at the same time. And that part's scary because you're like, if you're looking at it and you don't feel like it's realistic, or if you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I'm just being a dreamer or whatever, then that's where that like fear comes in and stuff. But but yeah. So I've definitely felt that. I'm definitely feeling it right now, and I feel like anytime in my life that I've felt it, it's just like inevitable that that big moment of change comes. And I think it's better that you're the one that's feeling it and driving that change in your life, rather than like life pushes, like them being like the type of person that loves comfort and you're like, I'm comfortable here, I'm happy, and life is like, no girl, you need a change. And then it's like boof, and it just like hurls you into chaos. And like tower moment, everything crumbles because you need a change versus you choosing the change
Yeah.
before that happens.
Yeah, I will say in my experiences, the only time, so I was going to say I feel like I'm always ahead of the change. I think the only times I haven't been ahead of the changes have been with like friendship breakups, but that was literally
Hmm.
like high school. Those haven't happened since 12th grade for me. So like one of my best friends stopped being my friend like literally the last month of high school. Like that's a long story, blah blah blah, whatever. But and then my other friend, Olivia, they like the summer
Yeah.
before I started going to school at uni, she also broke off the friendship with me. And those two friendship breakups, like at the time, those were my besties. Like, oh my goodness, I loved both of them. And I felt as though if it were
Hmm.
up to me, I would have never like had that change, and I wouldn't have ever wanted that to transform in my life, like who my best friends were and who they weren't. But that was something that like life just threw at me. And I'm not gonna lie,
Hmm.
like I went to therapy like the day that Olivia sent me the text breaking off the friendship with me. I took myself to the counselor's office at UTD and I was like bawling. And they were like, okay, we'll
Hmm.
see you now because we don't know what's wrong. And then been
Yeah. They're like, no, you need this. I'm so glad you're here.
yeah, like good for you for bringing yourself in. And so I felt as though at the time, being 18, like you're not really going to handle like that type of change well where it's thrown at you. But I think now at 29, I feel like I could really handle any change that has come my way. But I've also, like, I think I'm speaking from a place of privilege as well. Like, I've never lost a job. I've never been in a situation where, like, my job's fired me. So now there's a change and I have to figure out what to do, what job to get next. Like, I've been a step ahead of that change where I've quit. And I've left the,
Quit before they fire you. Yeah.
so I feel like it's also a blessing to say that because I think that there's people out there now that like I mean I don't think we're really getting that much older, but people are losing their moms like and dads now as well, and I feel like we're only like in our late 20s, and I thought that stuff would start happening. I mean, like for me that won't happen until I'm like 80, and my mom's like 100 something. She's living that long. But like I
Hmm.
feel like that's a big change, and that's a big like curveball that people are now having to adjust to, and they're going to have to go through metamorphosis to figure out how do I exist as a human without my parent. And I just think that
Hmm.
that's something that like again I'm very privileged to say like I don't have to deal with that. I don't have experience with that. So yeah, do you have
Hmm.
experiences with like I guess those curveballs where life has said to you like you're changing because I'm taking this away from you, or I'm adding this in.
Um, why is my brain so slow at pulling up personal like data? Because it's like we don't wanna think. But I'm trying to think. Well, I do also just want to make a comment off what you said about the parents thing. It was interesting because I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday where she's saying at our age, the change that comes is that, first of all, we're at an age where now our parents are our friends, and it's like transitioning out of that, like not necessarily equals, but it kind of feels like equals. But I feel that now I'm counseling my parents a little bit and how they deal with this huge change in their life of being
Mm-hmm.
parents for so many years and completely identifying with being a mom and being a dad. And your whole life is like about your kids, and then your kids grow up and they're at a point where they're self-sufficient and they're just kind of your friends. Like, I'm like, we'll always need you, we'll always call you, we'll always like, still need you in our life, but your sole identity is no longer being a mom or being a dad. And it's taking an interesting like, yeah, it's interesting for them because they're in moments of huge transformation and metamorphosis themselves, but they're struggling through it. And I feel like if you don't validate what is happening in your life, like if you don't validate, like, okay, I see that my last kid just moved out, I see that my dog passed away, I see that it's just me and my husband now, and I need to figure out who I am again, and I need to figure out how to fill my life up again, and I need to figure out what fulfills me because you can't keep doing the same thing that you've been doing for the past 10 years and expect it to be okay because life is changing every single day. Like
Yeah.
things are constantly changing in your life. So if you're not changing with it, things aren't going to work. You're going to be unhappy and you're going to like be falling apart because every day you need to be adjusting and adapting and being flexible and changing with your life as it moves through these changes so that you're always finding what works. And I feel that like with my parents, for example, like I was having this conversation with my mom, and that's kind of what I was telling her because I'm like, you're doing the same thing that you were doing when we were still at home, and you're expecting yourself to still be happy. Like you're expecting that you're gonna like go to work, come home, have dinner, do whatever, go and do that and be happy, and just like still waiting, like, oh, we'll hang out on the weekends or I'll see my kids then. And I'm like, no, it's time for you to start like filling your life up with these things. And that's a whole yeah, I feel like for us, the change is that now our parents are getting older and we have to like adjust to the relationship. We have to adjust to the fear. We have to adjust to the sense of responsibility. And like, I know, everyone has different experiences. Like, again, we're lucky we have good relationships with our families and stuff. But yeah, it is weird. It's crazy because life is constantly changing. Like, things are constantly changing and you have to just adapt to it. Like every day you're a new person, every day you're a day older, and every year you're a year older. Like it just keeps changing. You don't have a choice but to figure out who you're becoming. And if you don't, because you're scared or because you're comfortable and you want to stay comfortable and you're like, I don't want to change, this is whatever, then either I mean, it just doesn't work. I just feel like you'll
Yeah.
feel stagnancy, you'll feel unhappy, you can avoid it, you can repress it, you can do whatever you can, but there's no way to avoid it. It's better to just face it and to just let it go and surrender to the fact that you're going to evolve and allow yourself to evolve. Stop being attached to every past version of yourself, you know?
Yeah, I actually think that that's a really great point. Is change, isn't it? Change is inevitable. Like that's the saying.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
there are two things that are certain in life: death and change. Like I'm pretty sure that's the
Yeah.
quote. And so it's like that's
Mhm.
so true. Like whether you like it or not, change is going to happen. And I think the more that you can handle it and be a bit more resilient, the easier of a life that you're going to have. And I think that if you have a really hard time with change and you're like holding on to that and you're not adjusting well, that's only going to make it harder for yourself. And why would you want that? Like life is already hard enough. So if there's a change that you're not happy with, which like I'm sure there's a lot of things where you're like, but I didn't want that to happen. It's like no, like, or like I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. Like figuring
Mhm.
out how to like roll with those punches and figuring out how to like step up when you feel like life is kind of like beating you down. I think that that's what resilience is. And like resilience is like high resilience is like indicative of a like really good, like I don't know, mental health, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like
Yeah.
the better.
Yeah. Like strong mindset.
Yeah, yeah, if you have a growth mindset as well, like if you're like I'm constantly growing, like you said, I'm constantly evolving, you're going to be able to take whatever comes your way. And
Mhm.
yeah, I think that I don't know, I think that especially like with the earth, like if the earth is always like spinning and the sun is always spinning, then like and we're just mini like earths and suns, then like we're also like spinning.
No, yeah, it's like it's just it's kind of interesting because I do feel like it's hard to be like, oh, just roll the punches because it is kind of it can be like hard to control, not necessarily your fear, but I feel like the hardest part is dealing with the fear of it. And I feel like when I was younger, it was always excitement. Like I'd always be like, I love a breakup. I love like a change. I love a new city because I love like catalysts. You know, it's a catalyst for transformation. That's what it is. Like when you meet someone and they suck, if you pay attention and you're like, what is this trying to teach me? And you really use it to help transform yourself rather than like victimize yourself, it literally becomes a catalyst to the next level of your life. So it's like you can view things like that. Obviously, when it's loss or like something like you said that you don't want to happen, that's really hard, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I feel like those are like just accept how hard and difficult it is and accept that part of life and part of being a human being is like suffering, honestly. I know
Yeah.
that sounds like dark, but it is true. It's like we get to experience these beautiful moments, but like the human experience is a spectrum of everything. You're going to get a little bit of everything. You're going to be really angry
Yeah.
some days. You're going to be really happy some days. You're going to be really broken down some moments in your life. And if you didn't get to experience all of that, then you're not experiencing the full range of the human experience. And it's better to have the entire experience and be like, I was allowed myself to be human and to be alive and to feel my life and to live my life rather than to like not be and just be numb because I feel like
Yeah.
I've experienced that. Like I've definitely felt so overwhelmed with everything and so overstimulated that I decided being numb was like better because I was like, oh, if you just don't care and you numb it, then it feels like good because you can go through life. But then I was like, if you numb yourself to life to try to protect yourself, you also numb yourself to all the good, happy things and all the love and all the, you know, it's like you just
Yeah.
become monotone and life becomes monotone and it becomes gray and black and white and there's like no color to it and it's like boring. So it's like you just have to accept it. If you want great joy and experience, you also have to be, you know, okay with great loss. And you might, you know, like you just don't know what's in the cards for you. But yeah, fingers crossed, praying for the best, but you just never know. Like,
Yeah.
and you have to just accept that, you know, we're kind of at the whims of whatever
God.
is pulling the strings. Yeah,
The
whoever's up there.
universe.
But
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I definitely agree. Not to pivot too much,
no, yeah,
but
yes,
what do you think about? So you know how there's like fixed signs and then mutable signs in the zodiac. So Gemini is a very mutable
yeah.
sign. I think it's Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So mutable
Okay.
signs are the ones that are just chilling. Like we actually mutable, we are literally meant for change. Do you think that mutable signs have an easier time adjusting to change as opposed to fixed signs, or the other one's cardinal? And I don't really remember what cardinal means too much, but fixed is
Mm.
obviously like fixed.
Yeah, like a Taurus is definitely fixed, and I don't know
Yeah,
the other.
exactly.
I don't know that much about that, but yeah, I definitely think it's like personalities. Like I definitely think there's some personalities that thrive on spontaneity and change and excitement, which like I definitely feel that way. I feel like you're definitely that way where it's like you don't want things to be comfortable, you don't want things to be stagnant. You like the change and the excitement. And then there's definitely like personality types that are more like, I just want my comfort and I want to be here and I want things to be steady and stable and long term and whatever. So I feel like it's like personality types. And I mean, obviously that goes into zodiacs. I just don't know that much about that. So I don't know for sure. But definitely most of the Gemini, Sagittarius. I don't know that much about Sagittarius to be fair. What were the other ones? Pisces. Pisces are supposed to be good at change, girl. Please.
Pisces
I feel
and
like, I mean, they cry through it. Y'all be sobbing through your changes. No, I'm just kidding. No shade
and
on Pisces. No shade on Pisces.
no shade, no shade. And then Virgos. Yeah, Gemini, Virgo,
What the?
Sagittarius, and Pisces.
Those are mutable signs, which means
Yeah.
they're like, I believe Gemini, Sagittarius, yes, like they're super exciting and fun and spontaneous. And I guess they like change. I don't know that much about that aspect of it from the Sagittarians that I've known. But Pisces, Virgo, like, girl, show me the Carfax. Like I need to see some like some stories or something because I don't know. I'm like I feel like all the Pisces that I've met have been really like just on a soapbox constantly being like my life. I don't know. It doesn't give graceful, but Gemini gives graceful with change. Sagittarius, what was Virgo? I don't know about Virgo. And then the fixed signs are I know Taurus I feel like is a very fixed, but I don't know the other. What are the other ones?
I feel like it's Leo. Let me double check, but I think it's Taurus,
Leo?
Leo, and
I don't
then
know about this.
Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Aquarius makes sense. Taurus and Aquarius and Scorpio makes sense.
For
And
fixed signs?
but
Like,
oh, fixed signs. It's saying they're associated with maintaining, upholding, and defending goals or desires. I would say yeah.
I don't
I
know.
would say in the sense of stability, I could see that. Not that they, maybe not that they would have a harder time with change. I think that they would welcome change if it fit in with what they wanted. But I feel like they would maybe have a harder time if it wasn't what they wanted, as opposed to like
Yeah.
these like a Gemini, Sagittarius, maybe even a Virgo and a Pisces.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know to be honest too much, but that I mean, that sounds right to me.
You're under the cardinal
I,
sign.
yeah, I know I'm a cardinal, but I don't know what that means. I feel like it's like I don't know actually. I'm really not sure. I never knew what those meant. And then it's also like so many different things within your chart will fall under that. So I don't know if you have to see like if most of the signs are a certain way or what.
Mm,
Like maybe if you're like for example, I'm a Sun Aries, Moon Leo, so it's like maybe emotional state is fixed, but then whatever. You know what I mean? Like it can
yeah.
be like in certain areas of your life and stuff. So I don't know that much. You'll have to key us in on your astrology studies as they grow and let us know what everything means because I really just don't have the details.
We'll have an astrology episode.
Yeah, it didn't say anything. What is a cardinal sign? Let me
Oh,
see.
cardinal, it's saying
Just
that
like from a,
they're associated with initiating action and starting new
yeah, that's what I thought.
seasons. They're known for being
Yeah.
leaders, trendsetters, and idea people of the zodiac. So it would appear that they would probably potentially have an easy time with change then. I would assume if
Yeah,
they're
that's what I know that, yeah. I know that's definitely an Aries thing where it's like you're just a starter, so you're not afraid to start. The issue is more like
Completing.
continuing. Which is true because I'm like I love again like I love the a new anything. Like I get so excited about a new era, a new change. Like even if I switch up something with my routine, I get so into it. But then it just doesn't, the sustainability is kind of hard, but it exists with the things that are really truly aligned. But anyways, I do have a question for you. So, do you feel that you've ever had like transformative eras or just like as you're changing and shifting and whatever that you have like issues with releasing your past self or like versions of yourself like um I guess I'll help with the question like basically like I had a cousin for example that was kind of like bullied in high school and stuff like that and like people would like bully her for different things and I remember we talked to her and be like well why don't you like get ready for school and like you can wash your hair and do your hair and put on an outfit that makes you feel good because she was obviously like in a depressed state from being bullied and she'd like not shower that much and she wouldn't do her hair and she'd wear these like just big t-shirts and sweatpants every single day and whatever and it like kind of perpetuated the bullying more because she started believing what people were saying and whatever and I remember when we said that to her she was like I have a reputation to uphold like I can't just change and show up one day and be like clean girl and care and like cute and whatever like people are going to mock that change and I feel like that exists a lot like in high school obviously everyone thinks every little change like matters so much but I feel like that kind of is a good like example of things that can happen in life where you're like, if I feel like I've been this person for so long and everyone in my life knows me to be this person, it's really hard to shift and become a new version of yourself and not kind of also internalize like are people's perceptions of me as this new version. Like like how it's going to create friction in your life if you're like I don't want to do this anymore and then it kind of changes your relationships and it changes like all these things and it's hard to let go of like this is who I was. Can I become someone new or do I have to continue to be who I like? Do you feel that? I don't know if that makes sense the way I explained it.
No, I get it. I completely get it. I don't feel that, but I think it's only because I am so used to genuinely constantly changing. Like I feel as though I'll have this business idea or I'll do this or I'll do that or I'll like, oh yeah, I'm a dancer but also I play. I think because I'm already so like a multifaceted person, I think that
Mm.
for me if I called my granddaddy, so we spoke last week and I told him about my intensive and how the 2-day workshop went and how I'm now like CEO of my own charity and all of this stuff. But if I called my granddaddy like next week and said, I actually think I want to go into finance for the stability and the money, he'd be like, okay, sure. Like, what about the charity? So
Like,
he,
do you, girl?
yeah,
Yeah.
he'd question it for like a second. But
Oh,
he'd be like, but okay, fine, if that's what you want to do, then yeah, like do you, girl. Like just let me know what you need. I'll probably never donate to your charity again since you where'd my money go? But no,
since
just
you,
but
you're like, I'm using it to fund my new career.
it's for a different cause now. But yeah, so I think with me, like my family and my world, like my network, whether that's LinkedIn, social media, anyone who follows me, I feel like they are so used to me. I also feel like people are just surprised I'm even in London for this long. I think I had a text that's like, oh yeah, where are you now? I'm like, still in
Hmm.
London because they're so used to me being somewhere different like every couple of years. But I definitely
Hmm.
understand people who are like, this version of me is the only one people know. And I should just stay this version because that's what people are familiar with. That's what people are comfortable with. But if you have that confidence in yourself to change and be somebody else and to start like I don't know, if you want to be goth one day and wear all black, if you're confident about it, like no one's really gonna care. They'd be like, okay, you were just in a fucking like crochet boho top yesterday, but now like you're like gothic girl. You do you. Like, but if you're a bit like
Hmm.
if you're going into like the store a bit like, oh, like nervous about the fact that you're like goth, people are gonna be like, you're not goth then. You just have to own it. You have to own all of your changes and people will then reflect that back onto you and be like, okay, cool, she's a surfer now. Okay, cool, she loves rap
Hmm.
music now. Okay, she's into black dudes
Hmm.
now. But if you're If like you just have to be confident.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And it's like funny because you keep saying like, oh, people are gonna think, but it's like you should never base what you do in life about people's perceptions. Like that's literally honestly the like worst thing to do, I feel like in your life. It's like who cares? Because the people that love you, they're not gonna, they're gonna like kind of what you said your granddad does, like just be like, okay, do you. But I guess I meant kind of like personal, like I don't know, like maybe it's like a perfectionist thing, but sometimes for me, I'm like, as I change, I'm like, ugh, it's so annoying that I didn't know this sooner. Or like when I discover something new and begin to change my mind, I'm like, I should have known this when I was 5 and lived my whole life like this. Because it's like every time you discover a new version or like new things and new perspectives, you're like, oh my God, it would have been so cool if I knew this sooner. But that obviously comes with just accepting that like you learn things as you do and like giving yourself grace and stuff. But yeah, definitely don't base it off other people's perceptions and like, but I think subconsciously people do that. Like I think subconsciously people struggle to make changes in their life because they're holding on to the past version of themselves and they can't like that's why it's so hard to like retrain your mind and actually like identity shift and like actually step into like the version of yourself that you want to be, and why people struggle to really align with the version of like themselves that they want, because they're like, it takes some like reprogramming to really like release those like past ideas and beliefs and things that like limit you and stuff. But interesting.
Yeah, what there's like Joe Dispenza, right? Where he says change your habits, change your life. So he's
Mm-hmm.
basically saying it is as simple as waking up one day, choosing who you want to be, and then living as that person. So if you're someone who wants to
Yeah.
be healthier, then start waking up and making smoothies, or waking up and eating like protein bowls and going for runs or going to the gym, and just make that a habit, make that constant, and then you see yourself alter and you see yourself change into this new person. If you're someone who wants to do art but you've never done art before, then get pens and paint and a marker and just start doing that, and you'll see
Mm.
yourself then become that artistic person that maybe you've only dreamt of being, or you never thought you could be, but because you're now actually putting that into action, you're going to then become that person. So the world really is yours, and you can change at any moment, and you can change your mind as well. If you liked someone one day and you woke up and you didn't like them the next day, that's okay. Leave them alone. If you thought you liked this friend, if you thought you liked a friend, but you're like, actually I hate going out with them, they make me miserable, they just chat shit all the time, then don't be their friend anymore. It's okay. If you loved your job but you now hate it, then change, just do it. Life is short, and we only live once, if you don't believe in reincarnation.
And it's so boring to not. Like for me, I'm like, it just keeps life exciting. Like, and then yeah, there's just always something fun and new and different to look forward to.
Yeah, I love
For
change.
sure.
I am now
Me too.
honestly feeling like, oh my gosh, I just go to my job and it's the same thing, and we see the same kids and we do the same thing. And so I am personally feeling a bit like,
You're
okay,
tired of the kids.
I'm
You're like, it's you
tired.
again. I'm sick of you. Switch them out. Switch them out with someone else.
We need new kids. We need new energy in the space. We need new people. We need new. No, no, no.
The
I'm
poor
kidding.
kids.
But I've learned for myself, I need a job where, jobs are like, no 2 days are the same, but that's kind of BS because it kind of is
Mm,
the same. I need a job that means it. I need a job that's like, you
yeah.
actually will never be doing the same thing like once a year.
Come do
Like,
what I do. And I'm like, you're hired. We need someone. Come here.
but your job is like,
You can stay with me here.
your job,
No, every day is different.
but how is it?
Every day is chaos.
But you, but you,
Like, because that's what I say all the time about it. I'm like, I literally am scared that now I'm like attached to the level of adrenaline and the level of like change every single moment that I'm like scared if I worked a normal job, I'd be like, like just so shut down because I'd be like, life is boring. Like every moment feels like, I mean, it is the same in the sense that like what I'm doing is the same, but it's like every day I pretty much work with a new team. Like I see the same people, but it's always on different days. It's always, I work at a different facility every single day. We're doing different cases every single day. And I get like last minute, like I can never predict what a day is gonna look like for me. I like sometimes it's on the schedule, but it's like you never know like what's gonna happen. Every single day you're just like, you never know. And I do like that, but it does always put you in a state of like fight or flight. Like it definitely puts you in a heightened state of like stress because you're like, what's gonna happen? But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I've been doing that for so long that I'm so used to it.
Yeah, and I feel like I am my anxiety in my body is already like on 100. Genuinely, like I wake
Mm.
up and I'm just ready to go. And the fact that like it's to go to the youth club, like where I'm
Yeah.
doing the same thing. I don't think that my adrenaline and cortisol levels matches the lifestyle I have right now. So I either need to
Mm.
change and figure out how to lower my cortisol levels, lower my adrenaline, and just kind of be a really chill girl, or accept that about myself and potentially find another path that will honor who I am and what my body needs, which is that mental stimulation almost every single time I'm at work.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so I have two questions. But I feel that um sorry, I need a minute. My brain has fully slowed down processing the time. Um what was I gonna say? Oh, the first thing is sometimes when I'm in like spaces in my life where I feel like things have slowed down a little bit, like where things feel more chill, I literally try to remind myself in those moments that I am being given time to set foundations for the projects and things that I want to do. Because both of us are like not attached to our job in the sense that we're like, this is all I do and this is all I want to do. Like we're both like you said, we have all these different ideas and things and projects and whatever that we want to like work on and do and start. So it's like anytime my life slows down, I'm like, you're being given the time to work on those things. So like, yes, your time at the youth club can be like, I'm bored and it feels routine, but that could be the only thing that you do every day or how many times you go in that is like routine and boring. And then it'll just feel like your chill downtime is when you're at work and you're like, oh, this is where my mind gets to rest. And then outside of work is where you're doing all this extra, like creative and excited and working on all these things. And then it like allows you to, you're still aligning with what, that's just how I see it whenever things slow down for me. I'm like, you're being given your breath of air because when things all happen at the same time, you're going to be like where I'm at now, where I'm like, I feel like too much is happening, and there's like no time. But so I like try to enjoy those moments too. Anyways, that was the first comment. The second thing is a question. Do you think there is, as much as we're both like, we love change, we love excitement, we love whatever, and like, sometimes I see the downside of that, which is like, certain things that require longevity and consistency and whatever, they do get boring. Like a long-term relationship, it does get boring. Like going to the gym every single day and sticking to a routine does get boring. Eating the same things or be having a consistent like meal plan does get boring. But all these things give you the good consistent results and allows your body to thrive because it knows what to expect. Like our bodies, similar to like when you have a dog, it's like they want that schedule and consistency so it can function like on kind of like a faster flow versus if your body never knows what to expect, it's constantly like having to adjust. It can't like flow with you and it can't work for you as efficiently. I feel like, if it knows every morning I wake up, I get this fuel, I get this workout, I get this. So it's like, at what point is sacrificing routine a way to just keep yourself stimulated because you're like a little iPad baby like me? I'm like, I feel like I just want constant stimulation versus like I'm actually just like want to consistently be growing because it's like just because you have a growth mindset and you want things to change and you want to grow doesn't mean you have to escape the discipline, the consistency, the longevity, the whatever. If you want to create really, really successful, impactful things, I feel like it requires a certain level of discipline and consistency. And the change, like you said, is inevitable. Like the change is always going to happen. If you have the same consistent whatever, every day is still going to be different in a sense. But yeah, what do you think about that?
I agree with you. I do think that both can exist at the same time. I think that I think that you can have that change and that constant simulation, and no day is the same but still have that routine. So maybe no day looks the same but you still always wake up at 7 a.m. If your schedule allows for that. Let's say the day looks the same in the sense that you start work at 9 every single Monday through Friday. So you're able to then be like, okay, yeah, I'm waking up at 7 a.m. so I can spend that the first 2 hours doing whatever I want, and that can change. From 7 to 8,
Mm.
I'm gonna go for a run, and then 8 to 9, I'm gonna go to the spa, and then another day 7 to 8, I'm gonna watch a movie, and then 8 to 9, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this, and then that's what can be different. Or you can be like, I'm gonna go do like a hike, or I'm gonna go to the city, or I'm gonna try to make one new friend in the morning for coffee, and then
Mm.
the rest of your day can be a bit routine. I do think that our body does need that, which I'm working on right now, like that sleep schedule where you're like, I'm in bed by 11 every night. Those things I'm happy to build up, because
Mm.
I think that that's crucial for honestly longevity as a human. And especially
Mm.
as like we're getting a bit older too, I think it's important to start going to bed at the same time every night, getting a good night's sleep, waking up, having good meals and everything. And I think that if you really want to change up things and make it different every day, figure out how you can do that within your routine. So if you went to, let's say lunch break is at 12, your coworkers like, hey, you want to go to lunch? Chick-fil-A is open and you always go to Chick-fil-A. Change it up. Don't go to Chick-fil-A. Go to McDonald's.
No, no, no. We promote healthy eating. Big,
Yeah.
cook your something.
Right, yeah, try new recipes. I'm currently at a point where
Yes.
my change looks like I have bread proofing right now, and this will.
No.
So for me, like, I've said I'm getting a bit antsy. I'm really getting antsy. I need to leave the UK, but I'm now making bread. I'm
It's
now
fun. Cooking is
yeah,
fun.
there's a new recipe that's in the kitchen right now that I've tried. Saved, I'm gonna get into crocheting, like all of these new hobbies. Oh my gosh, we're getting so
Mm.
old.
You're like, I'm crocheting now. No, I feel like it's like a cycle. It's like when you're in school and you have all your classes and you're like a history class for 1 hour and then a physics class and then an art class and then whatever. Then you like go through this phase where you like don't really care. And then I don't know. I feel like it's a cycle of life. Now we're in the same way where we're like, where are my extracurricular activities that bring me fulfillment and joy? And like, you know,
Yeah, and how can
like that's life.
yeah, and maybe change looks like something small, as in this week I'm gonna go to a tango class. I've never tangoed before. I want to see if I like it. Or another week I'm gonna go watch a ping pong tournament or a dance tournament.
Yeah.
Things like that. That type of change in your schedule where you're still having that discipline to achieve your dreams and achieve what you want. I think that that's welcomed, and that's honestly more beneficial than potentially just having every day look the same, because I genuinely think that gets boring.
Yeah, and like maybe we can leave everybody with a challenge of like, okay, if you're someone that has really routine and you're feeling really like stuck or bored, okay, maybe you're not like us where you're like, I need every day to be different and exciting and da da da, and you're not like an adrenaline junkie or whatever, or a caffeine addict or whatever our problem is. We're undiagnosed, or I'm undiagnosed anyway, but JK. But your challenge can be like choose one thing a week to do that you have never done before or never thought to do. Like go to a part of town that you've never been to and go walk around for a little bit and go to a store that you've never been to or try a new restaurant. Try a cuisine that you've never had before. Like if you've never eaten like a certain type of African food or if you've never had Thai or whatever, go and try that. If you've never, yeah, like you said, tango class or do something that like scares you a little bit, do something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone. And I feel like that's what allows you to be someone who is constantly growing because you're constantly providing little challenges and you don't have to do it like I'm going to quit my job and do this. No, it can be like really, really micro small things where you're just not allowing yourself to stay too comfortable and become too comfortable being the same every day, and like you start to feel yourself avoiding things that scare you or not doing things that are different, and then you're like, I feel stuck. or I feel bored or whatever. It's like, yeah, just find ways to do something new that scares you just a little tiny bit. Not like jumping off a cliff or something that super scares you, just something that makes you a little nervous. Like, oh, I'm gonna go. Normally, I go to this coffee shop every single day and I don't say hi to the barista. Today, when I go in, I'm going to do something different and be like, order a new drink and maybe ask them about their day or maybe sit in this new whatever it is. So that's the challenge that we will leave you guys with. And if you guys try anything or if you have any interesting stories or ideas that you want to share with us, please comment because we are going to be so excited to read everyone's experiences and
Yeah.
list out things that you really want to do, like really, really want to do, but you're too scared to
Yeah, let us
in the
know.
comments.
Yeah, let us know. And you know what? We're going to do the challenge as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pretty much do the challenge, to be honest. I
Oh,
feel like
yeah,
I
that's
definitely do
right.
that like every week.
Yeah, let's.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, like, I think we both do. Like, we both text each other randomly, and it's like we're doing something super, like,
It's like,
I don't
oh,
know, like, I'm like,
it's like, oh yeah, I'm Olivia Rodrigo. That's new.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Or you're
Just
like,
like
I went to
random things
Italy.
that are, yeah, yeah.
Filmed a video.
Yeah, just like
Okay.
random crazy things. So, but I mean, we can always like pump it up a little bit and like maybe like I'll do a dance class because I've never done a dance class before.
Yeah,
Or
let's
I don't
pick
know.
for each other.
Yeah, we can do that
Okay, should we? Okay, I'm gonna.
right now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like I'm gonna
yeah.
have to use my brain. Okay.
I'll pick since
Oh
you
well, I
said
don't know.
dance class. I'll pick that for you. So hip hop, a beginner's hip hop dance class.
Okay,
I'll find. I'll look.
if I find one, I'll do it.
I'll
Yeah,
find. I'll look at the studios in San Antonio.
I'm super down to do that because I actually have been really wanting to do that, but I've always been like, I'm kind of bad at dance because they move too quick and I can't get the choreo down, and then I'm like, and then it's like a lot of left, right, and then I turn the wrong way, and but I'm super down to do that. I think for you, I want you to do a singing lesson.
I've done one
I don't know
before, but I'm
why.
down to. I was thinking.
Oh, okay, no,
Wait,
no,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no, no,
no,
no, no. I'm down. I'm because.
no, no. Okay.
Wait, don't
Wait,
change
no, hold
it.
on. Can I think of some? Oh, okay, fine, fine. Yeah, do a singing lesson.
Okay, because I was thinking, I was like, oh, I wish I had lessons when I was younger because I feel like I would sound better now. But
Yeah.
I'm still younger. Like, why is that a regret when I could just do it now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. So dance class, singing lesson.
So those are our
Can we do
things.
like by the end of the month instead of the end of the week?
The end of the month is this week.
Okay, can we do the end of next month? Or can we just give ourselves like, and maybe we'll update you guys in like 2 episodes.
No, we have to do it by the 3rd.
Well, I mean, I think by the end of this week, I mean, we'll see if I find a class by this week that fits into my schedule, I'll do it.
Do you guys don't listen to this, guys? She'll do it. You guys will do it this week as
No, I'm
well.
gonna do
Okay.
it.
Well, it depends on when the episode
I'm
drops.
not saying no. Yeah, so so realistically, y'all gonna hear about this next year. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But okay, thank you guys so much for joining us on our first episode of At the Same Time since our rebrand, and we hope that you will join us on your journey and we can
Yeah.
all go through life at the same time.
Mm, Thanks,
We love you
guys. Love
guys.
you. Mwah, mwah. Bye.